Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, March 3rd. We are looking at the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And the one question I have for the Bears is, why did they have to make it so damn hard throughout the trading day before they finally did what they should have done after A, B, and C coming out of an inside day? Tremendous head fakes throughout the day, made the day very difficult until they finally really got their act together. Again, I missed a huge trade in M period. As I was telling the room, there's a good chance we're going to probe. M rips all the way up and then comes off its highs by $2.50. Incredibly frustrating. I had a decent day, not an easy day. Look, I know there's a lot of people going to say, oh, this is so easy, the way the market's whipping back and forth, this and that. A lot of conflicting information this morning with market-generated information with an inside day down, value lower, yet we were one-time framing up. We were above the opening. There was a lot of conflicting things going on up here. And I was even short up here. And then I put it to bed. H, reversal bar. We hadn't taken out the initial balance yet. Takes out G's low, takes out G's high, gets the opening. I'm like, well, maybe we'll get the initial balance here. Stop on a dime. And then finally, the sellers put it all together in J, K, L, and M. Even L gave a head fake, took out K's high, and immediately reversed. Not the easiest of days all week. The last 8 trading days have been incredibly interesting. The good thing, though, volume and volatility. That's what we need as traders. 113 million shares already with the after hours to come, and good volatility, good ranges, makes, for the most part, good days. Let's go to the other ones before we get to ES and SPY. So the Russell also goes out with a price probe. We probe to the downside. Now, they were 8 wide. We were 8 wide. We were 8 out of 9, so were they, and we couldn't even get 9 wide. So it shows you, and they're pox above the opening. Think about that. So it shows you how difficult the day it is. When you're 8 out of 9 wide, above the opening, and it can't get dragged down the entire afternoon. First of all, that's a nuance that you have to carry forward. That's number one. And number two, it's like, that's why it's such a difficult day to trade. You wouldn't expect what just happened here. So they go out with a price probe and 8 wide, overlapping the lower value. Triple Qs have a lot bigger issues. Remember, they have 2 gaps above that still haven't been filled. And now they have a third double distribution day. Another one today. There are no singles in Russell, no singles in ES or SPY. They have a much larger sell tail than any of us. And actually, let me, real quick, Russell took out both sides of the IB. I forgot. D took out A's high, and then K and M took out the day's low. So they have a set of single prints. They only ended 6 wide. They also price probed. So there's a little trouble for the Nasdaq right now. Amazon broke 3,000, got right above it to close. Google broke 2,000, got above it to close. Tesla's never gotten back above that 717 level, which I think is a pretty key level. So it'll be interesting to see that. Now, ES and SPY. The bottom line is we're still in a 9-day balance now. It's a 9-day balance. It's a $14 9-day balance. We battled the middle of it, 385 and change, this morning a bunch of times before we finally gave it up. We do not have a trend day. We don't have 9 wide. Now, we were 8 out of 9 wide, but ours was below the opening. So, I mean, it's a little different from Russell. But we were still 8 out of 9 wide and never could get back to it. I thought when L took out K's high, we would at least get 9 wide. But I will use H as an afternoon rally high, and we certainly went out with a price probe, which is K's low. As far as my trading, again, I had a good day. I traded small most of the time. I can go over all of them. There were a bunch of them. I scalped shorts. Basically, what I'm going to say is I scalped shorts in A period. I traded today's expiration. So I took the 388 puts in A. When we opened, we got above the opening and went back below the opening, took it with the inside day down. Then in B period, I scalped shorts 385 puts 3 times. Every time we came up, We couldn't get to the opening. We took out A's low. It was just scalping shorts. I was like, I am not looking for longs here. C period. I also scalped shorts. But the difference is we didn't take out B's low. We had single prints. They filled the singles. That's when I took the short, and then it came back in. So the fact that we couldn't take out B's low kind of led me to believe that the sellers weren't as strong as I might believe. I took my only long of the day. I think it was. Yep, my only long of the day in D period, which is basically we were one time framing up and half back was there at that time. I'm like, okay, I'll use that. That's right. It was against half back. It was against the overnight low. I didn't hold on to it long. It went back up and I took it off under the open. That's the only long I took. Then in E period, I took a short against yesterday's low. I was holding it, wasn't doing much. It takes out D's high. I put it to bed. I made pennies on it. And I basically put the rest of them to bed not far off of that high, which ticked me off. I took a short in H period. When we were one time framing down, came back in, got back to POC, took it off, and luckily I took it off because then that's when H had the reversal bar. And then what did I do? And then again, shorted J, shorted K on scalps. Short. I'm trying to think. I wrote that I took a long in B period. I think I took a quick long to 3. Yes, I did. So the shorts in J and K were 386 puts. Scalped them once or twice. Came down, went up, same thing. And then in K, I actually took a long initially against B's low the first time to see if they held it. Went back up a little bit. I didn't make much on it, that's for sure. And then M, like I said, I missed M. The room, a couple of people asked me, do I think we're going to probe? I said yes. And then M ripped up pretty hard. I'm like, that's a pretty damn good trade location. And then it came in, and I didn't do it. In fact, I tried to switch my screen to do the MESs, and by the time I switched it, we already probed. Still had a good opportunity, though, as it continued to rip down. Okay. Destinations for tomorrow. Upside, we probed. K's low, 382.23, price probe from today. Then we have the afternoon rally high, all the way up at H's high, 385.83. So these destinations are far and wide. They have us closing at 381.42. So almost $1 away to the price probe. Then over $3.50 to H's high. Now, I'm not going to ignore an 8-wide POC, but I like 9 or wide, but I won't ignore it if we get there. Then above that, we have today's high 386.83 and 388.22 9 wide for March 2nd. For today, we have today's low of 381.31, and then things get very dicey. We have the weekly low all the way down to 378.23. So $3 lower from today's low, and then filling the rest of that gap at 377.34, 89-point gap. 375.81 afternoon pullback low from the first. I gave you a bunch of destinations below that a couple of days ago, so hopefully you have them. Now, let's go to the charts. And I'm not here Friday. I will be here tomorrow. I will not be here Friday. So here's the monthly in SPY. Oh, wait a second. I have to switch this over for you to see the monthly in SPY. Okay. Here's the monthly in SPY. We're still one time framing up, 4 months, not including this month. So we're still healthy. And the reason I'm saying that is triple Q's changed. We'll get to that in a minute. Weekly. I'll say it till the cows come home. Until we get acceptance into 387.50, sellers are in control. And I said my destination is ultimately 365, 370. Now, we also closed just above the 50-day moving average. Right? We closed at 381.42. We'll see I'll look at it in a second. But here's the weekly. I'm still down on the weekly. Okay? It's still down for me. It's still an inside week with 2 days to go. And then the daily, 9-day balance. Now the 50-day moving average is at 380.71. So only a $0.50 above it again. We got below it on January 29th. Rejected it. We got below it on February 26th. Rejected it. So here's the question, sports fans. Is the third time the charm if we get it tomorrow? That's the question you have to ask yourself. It's either going to be the third time the charm, we go through it, and then we start looking at the 365, 370 level, which I'm talking about. Or it fails again, and maybe it's strike three, and we hold the bottom of the balance and then start rotating up again. I'm not sure yet. Now let me just show you something really quick, because things have changed here. Here's the triple Qs. Look at the monthly. They took out last month's low. Now they have them closing at 309.10. Last month's low is 310.88. So we are firmly in a 3-month balance. So now that we're in that balance, the next destination will be the bottom of that 3-month balance, which is 305.18. So I'm firmly looking for that. And if that doesn't hold, then around the 298 level. That's on the monthly. Okay? I might as well show you the other ones real quick. Weekly. One time framing down. Again, we're into this balance. The bottom of that balance is 305. So 305 is becoming a pretty critical number now for the triple Qs. We close at 309 and change. If we don't hold 305, we're going to get below the 300 level. And then on the daily, came out of balance. 8-day balance, same as us we were, to the downside and closed below it. So the daily is down. So think about what changed so far in the Qs as opposed to the SPY. Their balance in the monthly, we're still up. We're both down in the weekly, but they're down in the daily, we're balanced. Keep that in mind. And then quickly, IWM. Might as well give you a recap since we're closing near the lows to what to look for going forward. Russell's still healthy in the monthly. Look at that. 6 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 3, 4, 5. 5 months, not including this month. One time framing up. Healthy. Weekly. Balance. Well, yeah, they're balanced because they got back inside of that other weekly low. That's different than us. So they're balanced. And then the daily, same balance. They're in a 3, 6, 7, 8. They're in a 10, 11-day balance. So, again, some changes taking place on the triple Qs. Question is, does that pull the market with them? IWM and triple Qs have gone separate ways a lot. So we're going to see which one SPY and ES follow if they do continue to go their separate ways. Again, if you made money today, great job. If you didn't, hang in there, because I'm telling you, these last 8 trading days, even though we're inside a balance, have not given continuity to make it easy, as far as I'm concerned. Done okay, but it hasn't been the easiest day, so hang in there. If you do have a mentor or you're in a trading room, I hope they're keeping you safe. We do a great job of that here at CamelbackTrading.org's voice channel room. Come check us out. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.